who's going to go home.
FAV Gaming haven't traveled this far for nothing, but their bank has been well telegraphed to the world, and Aerowolf have many, many VODs from FAV Gaming's Japanese qualifier to look at. FAV Gaming going to just take Montaigne off the board altogether. On Clubhouse, Montaigne was played every single round.
Yeah, and then we didn't see him once in the in Oregon, but Habana being taken off the board though as well.
Really limits the amount of hard breach available, which is so very valuable on bank, especially attacking that basement. You've got so many hatches and, of course, the walls of server that you want to be opening up.
Yeah.
Hero wants to limit that somewhat.
And this defensive ban taking its time. It's going to take the full 20 seconds. It's going to be Echo.
All right, well, not much difference there. You know, it's the same ban they've banned every single map so far. So
and a very, very quick ban from FAV Gaming here. They know what they want. So the Monty and the Maestro being taken off the board.
Right. So a lot of
Mirror still up.
Yeah, a lot of potent operators taken off the board,
Ying's
but still a lot of
a
lot of strong operators still remaining. Blitz has been banned in the past, but not this time. Ying has been banned in the past, but not this time. Mira has been banned in the past, but not this time.
CEO. Top floor bomb site going to come out first.
Clash being teased as well. Not sure whether this will be a 6 pick.
Well, this is a Japanese special, right? Like, Clash on the top floor is a Japanese special. And they are going to 6-pick the Mirror to the dock, and we're going to see Maverick get swapped out for a Glaz. I actually really like that change. They, of course, don't know the bomb site, but I do like that change as well. They have no way of stopping the bandits though, unless they do manage to take control of downstairs.
I find it interesting the fact that the Mirror was switched off of, because in FAV Gaming's matches against Sengoku, when they were trying to qualify for this event, they played a Mirror window at what's called Kanto spot, which is just a Taipon's left, named after Kanto from G2. He loves playing that spot. You play it with your ACOG, you just peek everything pretty much, whether it's the the west-facing windows, the north-facing windows, you just do some serious work. However, the job of the Mirror can really be taken up by the Clash somewhat of that intel gathering.
Yeah, which is probably what we're going to see here. Shin on that Clash. This is an operator who we've seen rise and fall. And they've still got the rear to reinforce. That's a late reinforcement from Odin Miso though, because he is close to those windows.
Shouldn't be punished as of yet. Not a ton of impact grenades in the hands of FAV Gaming. Impact's very valuable on this bomb site for denying thermite charges by throwing them above the reinforced portion of the walls on the east side. However, the holes that are required, they're being opened up just now. I wonder whether we'll see that, because the castle and the Clash both don't have any impacts. So maybe after the Rook if that's going to happen. Drones out from the southeast side, typical place to push. Aerowolf just embracing the norm at the moment, gaining some intel.
Yeah, and Shin going to be a very important intel gatherer here, but he can't push out or else
no!
He's just going to be dropped like that. And there we go, the lifeline kill from Hysterics. Shin gets taken out, and a bit of damage went around to no one, actually.
Misplay from Shin, no intel on stock, assuming that it was still clear when in fact Hysterics had pushed in, punishes that player early, and a huge amount of intel gathering destroyed for FAV Gaming so early on.
Yeah, it certainly has. That is a big pickup from the Clash. But we've also lost the Jackal as well, which, you know, really great pickup early on for FAV Gaming as well, though.
Not being able to contain those roamers, and also reducing the available smoke grenades utility. Still, Aerowolf, I think, have the upper hand. A bit of metal on this north side rappel, where his teammate was felled earlier. He's going to do some damage with it, but you can see he's playing very passive, very cautious of these angles. Afro with his deployable shield. In a strong position at Kanto to not only peek the main angles to the west, but also up to the east using the shield.
Yeah, it's a strong angle. If Hysterics walks out, there will be a pixel shot there.
Hysterics has also used all of his explosive canisters in the lifeline as well, so he won't be able to destroy that shield.
K-Raze is in a very exposed spot right now. You can see the way how he's looking. He's not feeling very comfortable. Smoke grenades are coming out. Luna's putting a couple of shots down in him, not finding anything. Ysera Gonna put a couple of shots down. He's not finding anything. Oh no, the ping from Luna. Why did they ping that? I think if they hadn't pinged him, he probably would have gone for it and been dead. K-Razor finds one.
What?
K-Razor!
Oh my God!
K-Razor, a 3K! He comes out of nowhere and just eliminates Aerowolf. Now it is all up to Hysterics in a 1v4.
Time for an ace, Hysterics. You certainly finished off Oregon with a bang, and he's looking to do the same here.
That's
a 3K so
three.
far. 2 remaining, whips out the pistol. But K-Razor is not going to shy away from that 4K. Securing the round for his team in a solo fashion. Incredibly impressive from the Bandit player.
Yeah, unfortunately, Hysterics didn't really have the time frame left to be able to clutch that out. He didn't have time to reload his main weapon, so he does have to pull out the pistol, and the pistol going to lose to an MP7 at close range. So, great plays by K-Razor. Great plays by Hysterics. Luna Metal got absolutely dumpstered by the K-Razor flank.
Yeah,
they just sort of all lined up for him.
Yeah, really. It was impressive. The Bandit pushing aggressively, peeking onto the Ash on the window, getting that kill, rounding the corner and taking out 2 outside in the main skylight area. Impressive stuff. Now, locked in for this next bomb site is Teller's office on the 1st floor, so no basement. Basement, typically the primary bomb site for many teams on this map. Looks like FaVe not favoring it at all.
Yeah, it's a little odd by them. They're really avoiding that that bottom floor. Maybe it's because they're trying to like. Maybe because they think Aerowolf will think that they're attacking it first, so they bring their operators for it, and then of course they're not.
Yeah,
right?
perhaps,
like,
but I also think that it's a bit deeper than that. FAV Gaming like to play loosely and over a large span of area, whereas that basement bomb site can be attacked in such a way. It can be really tight. You know, you don't have to. Yes, it's great to take map control and such, but it really revolves around server into CCTV, that incredibly close stuck area that Aerowolf, they love dealing with that kind of stuff. That's where their Monty flourishes. Obviously, Monty's been banned, but there are substitutes for the Montaigne in that scenario, and FAV just don't want to go anywhere near it.
Yeah, I think the claustrophobia of it would be against FAV's playstyle. I think you are right there. So maybe trying to play to their strengths here and just avoid their weaknesses as much as possible. They will eventually have to go down there. Well, maybe not, but if they win this round, they'll have to go down there.
Lots of aggression from FAV, just patient aggression, such as the angle from Afro. You know, why not just hold a little angle and see if you'll get lucky? Yeah,
well, I mean, it's a good strategy. But it does rely on other people to come into your line of sight. Array just being very, very careful here.
Ysera pushing in through the stock room, where Hysterics got the first kill in the previous round. Afro playing very patiently near Banana, with one also of the FAV players in CEO.
Well, one thing we haven't touched on is they obviously haven't bought the Clash, instead bringing a Rook instead.
Yeah, so a lot of these long angles going to be utilized by FAV Gaming. Still Type on holding in the close claustrophobic angle of Janitor Clozzy as a shotgun and SMG-11 both excel at that range, and the gas canisters will prevent him being flushed out for quite some time.
Yeah, they can of course send drones in through there, but you know, drones aren't going to kill you, so he is still relatively safe as long as he has those gas canisters up.
Some reinforcements on. Oh, okay. Typon finally taken down by Mental, but FAV Gaming healing each other up using the dock utility. Odin Miso still in CEO, waiting for his opportunity to peek. The Maestro, sorry, the Maverick holes, causing him some grief. However, he still is in a strong position to push. Afro gets finally taken down. Hysterics, another one as well. Odin Miso is just one of 2 remaining, and he's still all the way away from the bomb site upstairs.
Yeah, he's a long way away. Shin's still downstairs though. Odin Miso, they still have to flush him out, and there we go. That's him being flushed out. So Shin's actually getting off site.
Oh no!
To do this mute, he does have the SMG-11, but Ysera is going to find him as he vaults back over. Aerowolf take a very dominant round number 2 there.
Incredibly dominant, as you said. FAV Gaming not finding anything on their top floor hold. Just really not managing to find any kills whatsoever, dying one by one by one. Aerowolf really slow and coordinated, and I think that's paying off for them. They're analyzing the area and figuring out the best way to deal with something and allowing players to sneak up and make the play necessary.
We're seeing the exact same strategy out of FAV.
Looks like it, doesn't it? Same operator lineup. Capcan.
Oh.
I like this.
Cap traps for days.
Certainly can work out. That said, Aerowolf have been playing very safely and very slowly. That's the kind of play style that would a cautious player would take out a Capcan trap and not be fallen into the trap. So, a bit worried for Fav. I hope Shin can prove me wrong.
A hunter always watches where he steps.
That's really good advice for you, thank you.
Oh, it's straight from the Capcan operator video.
Yeah, I know. I did get it. Speaking of hunter, no Jaeger this round, so interesting that, you know, such a prolific operator as the Jaeger is being passed up on for these long-range
Well, Jaeger's actually
contenders.
been dropped a fair bit. There's been a couple of rounds I've noticed that we haven't had Jaeger, so I'd be very interested to see where his operator pick rate is across all 3 maps.
Yeah, I just feel so uncomfortable so many times when there's just no Jaeger on the team, because maybe not so much on this bomb site, but there are so many locations where you just need a Jaeger, otherwise you're going to get grenaded, otherwise you're going to get flash, otherwise you're going to get yinged.
Shin is really trying to make Hysterics push in through the stock room. Really difficult.
It's worked out for Hysterics. Last time he did very well pushing in through that hallway. Shin's well spaced out Capcan traps downstairs will hopefully aid the very condensed ones upstairs. Type 1 hopefully will stay alive a bit longer inside of Jander's this time.
I can't help but feel that Aerowolf has flushed out these roamers so well though that I don't think that they're going to be able to do an awful lot. I don't think, unless they win their gunfights, I don't see a strategical way for FAV to ensure victory here. For their roamers, that is.
Oh, taking a bit of damage. Now the thing is, FAV Gaming taking a lot of these ACOGs. Some of the Aerowolf players are not, such as Ystera playing Maverick. He's got a holo, only 1x magnification. So FAV Gaming do have the potential to win these long-range gunfights and really spearhead themselves from that point.
Yeah, and Hysterics, he didn't fall for the cap trap. I don't think he's going to fall for the second one either. K-Raids are coming up on that flank. He could potentially find it. Shin gets a C4 kill on Dementalist though. He's been dropped out of the game. And Odin Miso has taken a ton of damage. Afro's getting jackal tracked here. But through the wall, Afro lands the headshot onto Ystera, but onto Hysterics, sorry. Ystera, though, does get the trade-off into Odin Miso. Ystera's on the side. He picks himself up a second. He is going to get downed. K-Rays are going to pick up the kill credit for that, finally. And all that's said and done, it's a 2 versus 3 in FAV's favor.
These Thatcher EMPs can be utilized to destroy any lesion mines or stray Capcan traps, but it's not exactly what Lunar Metal needs.
And here comes the second Trackle. It is on the smoke.
Trackle, I like that.
He's going to get pushed off.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
This is where you really need to have the vertical play. The shotgun's useful for that, but these pings aren't very frequent, and it's not too difficult for FAV Gaming to just move around after every single ping.
Yeah, you do sort of have to plan it. You almost have to have a route planned, because you can see how this ping is coming across here. He gets tagged up a little bit, and it's going to force him off, but these flanks now... Luna on the other side. Raiden just not being successful enough to get it. A couple of shots missing from down below.
Oh no, where's that?
From below just picks him up. And it's all left up to Array.
Bombs down, 1 versus 3. Array not going to pick up the diffuser. He knows he has to find these frags one by one by one. Can't even peek into the bomb site, retreating to the diffuser. This is too late, mate. You can't play for this now. And Shin on the peak with the Capcan takes him out. Shin, your Capcan traps may not have detonated, but certainly you did some work with this 9x19.
Really did. That SM, it's actually a really good SMG.
One of the best SMGs, I reckon. It
Yep.
May not be super high damage, but it's a great fire rate, very low recoil.
Yep, it's actually a really good SMG. It just sort of sits under the radar. Because it's only on the Russian operators, you don't see it an awful lot. So... as you know, the Russian ops in general just aren't picked that much. But we are going back upstairs into the CEO and executive lounge.
Still shying away from that basement bomb site, but the first bomb site they did win. CEO got it first time too. That's unlocked now. Shin 6 picking onto the clash. Aerowolf should be expecting this time. They just brought the Glaz straight off the bat as well.
Yeah, well, I've actually been very unimpressed with this Clash so far. I don't think the Clash has actually managed to achieve anything.
Oh, yeah, because we saw it only in one round, and he peeked out aggressively onto an angle, not realizing there was someone watching his rotate, and he just died. So I expect Shin will perhaps play more safely this time around. Not risk it when he doesn't have any intel on what's happening in stock.
Yeah, I'm going to be very, very interested to see exactly what his plan is for Clash, because as you said, we saw him die pretty much instantly, so I'll be very interested to see what, like, is he just going to hold, janitors again? Like, is that...
I think, honestly, to hold janitors, something like a smoke is ideal, but to rotate around, whether it's holding janitors or enabling your teammates to peek the north windows, or whether it's even enabling your player at Kanto spot to peek out aggressively, whether it's west or east. I think that the main thing is just moving intel around as needed to the team.
Yeah, and do you think FAV, they haven't destroyed the hatch yet in janitors, which is obviously their easiest way to escape sight. I don't quite know where their roamers are at this point. Looks like one's in janitors. Sorry, not in janitors, in stock trading. But it's going to be very interesting. Actually, Typon docked himself. He overhealed himself.
Yeah, perhaps he wanted to go for an aggressive peek. Looks like holding stock is a priority for FAV Gaming. And this Clash can certainly help out Typon. However, Clash doesn't do much for you when the Glaz is pushing straight on in there. Ysera could catch these guys in the back, droning himself in, spots out the Clash, knows that the Clash is exposing himself to the angle that he has, but the Clash peeks on out. Hysterix is now the man to push into stock. Shin spots him out, calls it out to Typon.
Yeah, Hysterix, he's entered the building every single time through this spot so far. It doesn't look like it's going to stop here. They know exactly where Shin is. They are going to try and get a crossfire on him. It's not quite going to happen.
No!
Ysera actually TKs Hysterix. Hysterix has been TK'd 3 times now?
Yeah, this is 4 team kills so far across Aerowolf in this series. That's just far too much. The smoke grenade perhaps will enable the Glaz to peek more aggressively, but it really can't do that much, and Typon still safe.
Yeah, he hasn't been caught out just yet. I do believe they know where he is, like roundabouts, but he hasn't been caught out. And, oh, actually, Hooray going for a longer drone, saying, hey, Hysterix, since we killed you, can you just sit on my drone?
Poor Hysterix always struggling along, but I feel like that's where Aerowolf are at the moment. Not quite sure how to push on this. The fact that they didn't get the early pick onto the Clash means that it's giving so much intel to the whole team. And once again, K-Razor peeks out aggressively, does get refragged, but still the Clash is enabled to flank. 3 players from Aerowolf remaining, 2 players inside. Mentalist gets 1 kill, 3 players left for FAV. 30 seconds, still plenty of time, but Aerowolf are dropping like flies. Afro with 2 big kills, all up to Array in a 1 versus 3, 20 seconds.
I really thought that was going to go well for Aerowolf when they got into sight. Mentalist was in a spot where he could have potentially planted, but instead they keep getting more aggressive. They keep walking forward, so he never gets the plant off, and FAV bring that round back beautifully.
So terrified of that flank from the Clash. Really made Aerowolf not in any position to hold on to the skylight area, and when they pushed into bomb site, they felt like they couldn't just sit and hunker and plant because there were too many crossfires to do it. They had to keep pushing. Unfortunately, it only lasted so long.
Yeah, it only lasted so long indeed. So we are going now down to this basement. So we do get to see why they're so scared of the lockers and CCTV.
Attackers need to locate and
finally,
as many bombs as they can.
Basement. L is not something you see every day on this bomb site. Perhaps we'll see some kind of aggressive play. Oh, I would say aggressive play in server, but no, not with no Jaeger. You really need a Jaeger if you're going to do that. I like the sheer amount of intel gathering that we've got from FAV Gaming. Both the intel roamers of Valkyrie and Pulse, and of course the mirror windows. Not to mention the fact that you do gain some intel from those Elemines as well. A lot of good denial, 3 C4s, and the gas babes. Should
And
be
the
everything
if you so wish to use them.
Should be everything for that FAV would need.
Yeah, there's a lot of utility on this lineup from FAV. They've done some brilliant work in their operator selection. We've got a very dynamic and versatile team, so we'll have to see exactly how they're bringing up.
Wow. Prepared to sprint very aggressively through this doorway, not actually allowing themselves any cover. However, it may well pay off for them. On the Aerowolf side, good versatile lineup. 2 bits of hard breach on account of the Hibana being banned. Maverick's going to have to be used to scraggly open up these hatches.
Yeah, but it'll take a while, and he won't be able to get 3 of them. He'll only be able to get 2 of them.
Looks like the roam clear working out so well for Aerowolf. Interesting, both of these teams have historically been playing fairly roam heavy. FAV, now that they finally commit to a more passive bomb site, they are really committing.
Yeah, they're, you know, all down, and I think this has thrown Aerowolf. They're like, where are the...
Where are the roamers? Where are our free kills early round? Right?
Yeah, and I think... So, okay, you get trackled, and then you go aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes if the Jackal track, you know, typically people are expected to play passive, so between the 2 tracks, if you get just aggressive on one of them, perhaps some people aren't expecting it. K-Razor playing very aggressive, looking through this Maverick holes. If you can find a kill onto a Maverick who's opening up these holes, seriously helps out your team.
Yeah, it really does. And oh, he doesn't quite get it.
I think Ysera knows that he's dealing with a player beneath.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, a little bit of the shots. He hasn't quite got it just yet. He's trying to wait for it to be broken.
What are you doing, mate? That that was not so good. That C4 didn't help much. Now he can't pick it back up. Walls open, sorry, hatches open, flashed out. Now K-Razor defaults back. Unfortunately, he wasted that C4 on the roof as well. Lunar Metal taken out by Odin, taking out Odin Miso. Still, Shin playing aggressively. Server player now eliminated.
He has to fall back into Gold Vault, but with that pulse scanner, he's going to have all the information they need.
Yeah, good spot for a pulse. Mentalist going to be opening up this default thermite wall. It's Derek's watching the long angles, opening up some angles as well. Seriously can help out the team. This red hatch still completely reinforced, allows much more aggressive play from FAV Gaming downstairs. A C4 doesn't get...
I think it got shot.
It got shot out.
Yeah.
The plant starts, but I believe it's baited out. No more C4s remaining for FAV Gaming at all. We had 3 of them, and none of them have done the damage that's needed. Still 5 players up for Aerowolf. 10 seconds. This is going to be a blitz of kills. 2 more for Aerowolf. 2 players left for FAV. Make that 1. It's just Type On, the lonely man remaining. Can he deny the plant? No, it goes down. Asterix to clean it up. And there's a round for Aerowolf.
Yeah, so they managed to take a very dominant basement attack here. So I guess that's why FAV have been avoiding the basement. As you said, I think the claustrophobia of it just sort of forces them into a playstyle they're not comfortable with. And so they weren't able to play to their strengths, and so Aerowolf completely just dismantled them there.
I really think that if FAV Gaming just makes some subtle changes, don't waste those 3 C4s early.
They could have done it. Yeah.
Absolutely, they could have done it. It was absolutely everything that they needed. I like the seepage of FAV Gaming's playstyle coming through and showing us, you know, aggressive peeking up the hatches. That's fine, you know, that's what FAV's good at. Go for it, all you like. But the way that FAV played that defense made Aerowolf take so much time that it was only 10 seconds remaining. And if FAV had a C4 to deal with that, it would have been over.
Yeah, so they do, of course, have to go back down to it. Actually, Tellers would have been unlocked.
Yeah, and CEO as well. So they're just deciding...
No, CEO is locked at the moment.
Oh, it was won by Aerowolf, wasn't it?
No, it was won.
It was won not by Aerowolf, and I wrote it down wrong. Thank you for pointing that out.
No worries. So, like, Tellers would have been unlocked. They could have potentially gone Tellers. And so the choice to go back to CC is interesting to me, considering they got absolutely demolished on it.
Yeah, maybe they've identified what they think they can do to make it better, yeah, and just subtle changes.
A couple of different C4s, I agree with you. I think they could have gone very differently.
So we've still got C4s. We've dropped the pulse out. Instead, We have our Alibi and our Jaeger. Looks like they want to have some kind of presence upstairs. In fact, a mirror window looking into into CEO office. I quite like this. However, who knows how long it'll last before Aerowolf can clean them out.
Finding no one with that drone as he does jump into the executive hallway window. And he will find Shin in the executive lounge if he so pushes up. K-Raze is actually in there as well. And this is a lot of pressure they're finding. They know two members of FAV Gaming are up here, but not really landing anything just yet.
1 minute subsided, and Afro's still downstairs as well. So if Aerowolf get too aggressive on their push in, perhaps they'll be punished, but not so far. Shin, the first man to fall, and that's a C4 wasted. Not going to be used to deny the plant. Still K-Raze upstairs, taking some damage. Not done any, really, and they're finished off as well.
Yep, Raze managed to push his way in. And FAV, just not, that hold just not really going to what it was. All right, guys, we need roamers, but unfortunately just not really landing it. Lunar Metal just a little bit too slow on that shot. Afro's going to live to fight another day.
Like the ideas, but there are some key mistakes being demonstrated by FAV, and now finally Afro eliminated. Just 2 players left to do what the entire 5 players couldn't do in the previous round.
Yeah, the trackball coming out a bit too strong, forcing a move, and unfortunately Afro dealt with it with his life, paid for it with his life, sorry. So finally going to take full map control. They know there's 2 on site. That's all they really have to deal with now.
Aerowolf taking their time.
Very aggressive position.
Yeah, I feel like FAV Gaming just they feel like they need to rely on aggressive plays to win this out, and that's why we still have Odin Miso in there. And look, it worked out once.
Okay. Still
playing aggressive for him.
Odin Miso gets the headshot with the shotgun, something you don't see very often, but no, unfortunately not going to pay off that time. Hysterics gets himself another kill credit. Taipon going full aggressive, and they trade out, but that is round 2 Aerowolf.
Consecutive successful attack of the downstairs bomb site. Really, I've got to agree with you. Why aren't FAV mixing it? Why aren't they taking us elsewhere? Because this basement is not the map for them, not the bomb site for them.
Yeah, really not. Hopefully they can understand that now. Well, obviously they understand it before, but hopefully they can actually, you know, say, hey, well, there was another bomb site unlocked for them, so why'd we go this time? But Aerowolf not shying away from that CCTV on their first defense.
As we do split the half with 3-3, so
yeah,
still anyone's map, still anyone's series. Of course, this is the last map of the series. FAV Gaming started this whole series off with a bang, and now perhaps with the difficulties they had on Oregon, Aerowolf are realizing that this is still possible for them.
Aerowolf just woke up. Or maybe they just stopped in August. Like, all right, guys, we're not dealing with this. Next team in. But no, so look at that. 9 kills for Hysterics. He has been a monster so far this map.
Hysterics has just performed very well today. Overall, I think, an exceptional fragger, making the impacts that Aerowolf have needed. Now on this downstairs defense, I wonder whether we're going to see some roaming as well with the castle barricade. That's what I expect, and look at that. Very unusual castle barricade in the lobby near the elevator hallway. Perhaps some inside of tellers as well. That's what it looks like. Lots of rotations. Lots to work with. I quite like this.
10 seconds left.
Interesting. So are they going to try and funnel everyone through that teller's door? Right, so they don't want them to come in through the north door. They want them to come in through the actual teller's door in the south.
I think you might be right. There's a decent amount of utility on FAV to deal with that. And the Ash charges, buck grenades, even the Maverick blowtorch. Once again, a lot of late reinforcements from FAV Gaming, but don't expect, sorry, from Aerowolf, but I don't expect it'll be punished.
No, I don't think it will either. They were reinforcing in like relatively safe spots. The only thing that worried about me earlier for that late reinforcement was the fact he was reinforcing next to a window that generally gets shot at as a spawn peak precaution.
Take a look at these reinforcements too. We've got these hatches above open area reinforced to try and solidify these roamers downstairs, and still one rotation. This is a hatch that's easy to hold from below.
Yep.
And it can't be utilized as much from above. Hysterics are going to play upstairs for just a little while before retreating downstairs. Ystero looks like he wants to just gain some intel while playing safe down. I wouldn't put too much stake upstairs as Aerowolf just yet.
They've used a lot of utility up there, right? So it's about how much are they going to fall for, you know, the cost ratio fallacy. They've utilized a lot, but Hysterics is going to find Shin. Afro are going to trade him back, though, so now we're in a 4v4. We lost Jaeger and Ash. All the Jaeger Ash mains going to be disappointed at home.
Yeah, they're all crying inside. It's all right. I'm a bit of a Jaeger main myself. So yeah, Aerowolf, I mean, I like the idea here, and I think it's something that FAV kind of toyed with that mirror when they played it inside of Janitors, but I think that Aerowolf, look, they can be happy with how they're going on this defense so far. Seems to be working out for them. They're delaying time. The thing I'm worried about is if it does come down to a late flank and they need to late flank server, if FAV are attempting to force a plant down, Aerowolf reinforce the server hatch, so they can't actually push onto that. So
yeah, well, they can just run down the stairwell. It sort of funnels them, but they do have the option available to them. Is surely not.
Doesn't look like it's going to be server at all. Looks like it's going to be a fairly aggressive vault push. And Array watching for it. He finds 1K. Razor was not expecting any players underneath that. That's the bomb planted down. No more hard breach. Well, I guess we got Afro still. Odin Miso pushing down the main stairs. Also taken down by Luna. Has received a lot of damage for the issue. 2 players left for FAV. Already trapped downstairs. Can there be a refrag? Typon finally makes it happen, but he is treading water at the moment with almost no health remaining.
Yeah, he's going to have to smoke out the back. These gas babes are going to come out. We're going to see exactly what they can do. He's probably going to have to run through them, to be perfectly honest.
He'll die if he does.
Slither of health. There it goes. He's going to go around, but now he's pinched. He's got people on either side of him. He's got one in garage. He's got one in his hallway. Mentalist picks up the kill. And Aerowolf pick up their first defense round.
Aerowolf demonstrating that aggressive teams can play on this downstairs bomb site and roam successfully, but FAV, they couldn't do it on their defense. The real question is, how would Aerowolf fare when defending the other bomb sites on this map? Because FAV had a very nice top floor hold. Aerowolf's attack couldn't crack it. Let's see what happens in the reverse.
Yeah, FAV successfully holding both of their defenses upstairs, and now it is Aerowolf's turn to try and hold it. We'll see if they learnt a thing or two of FAV, or whether or not FAV actually have an answer for their own hold.
Castle being brought out, I quite like that. The mirror as well, not something you see every day on this top floor. I wonder whether it's going to be in the long desk room and conference room, looking towards stock. One of the big issues with FAV's hold was the fact that they didn't have much of a good hold in stock, at least not when the Clash died early. No Clash being brought from Aerowolf, but still that one ACOG.
Yeah, so the dock can sit by elevators, potentially stop any shenanigans coming from the car park. But otherwise, well, realistically, the dock can sit anywhere. There's a lot of long angles from the ACOG that he can potentially use. But Mirror's going to go up into this conference room section, I think.
I'd like to talk about the attacking utility being brought to try and deal with this. So not a lot of smokes, but they do have the Capitao. So when they do deploy their smokes, they don't have to worry about the Jaeger ADSs to catch them. They've got a lot of soft breach and a decent amount of hard breach as well, but not so much gadgetry denial. So no Thatcher, no IQ, not even a Twitch, for example. So it'll be a bit more difficult to counter things such as the mirrors and the Jaeger devices if they want to throw their grenades, and even the Valkyrie cameras for that matter.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit harder for them to destroy that utility from Aerowolf, but we'll have to see how FAV is planning on attacking. There's no one spawned over near the car park, so they're not going to be able to make use of that angle at all. Afro made his way onto the roof already. See what he can get from the skylight. Going to be finding nothing. A lot of emphasis being placed on these windows by FAV now as well. Odin Miso, he's got some nades he can throw in if he so wishes. No Jaeger, if he cooks it just perfectly, he might be able to take out a couple of people as well.
Odin Miso looks to be taking a leaf out of his kinsman's book. Waka plays an incredible buck on these north windows. Waka from Norengo, the other Japanese team. Odin Miso should be given that same thing a shot, but he's got a lot of angles to contend with, and you know, Ysera wants this. Finally, the impact trick is non-existent to deny K-Razor's thermite charge. And that's an avenue into the bomb site.
Yeah, and you can see there, it's forced them out of their positions as well. Aerowolf now have had to play a much less safe positions. But, oh no, Ysera. He's going to impact trick that one. He manages to hold his flank, but he takes some damage for it, for his troubles.
And the big thing here is that we've got no more thermite charges. That wall's just not going to get opened. Ysera doesn't need to impact trick any longer, but forcing themselves through that other thermite breach, he's going to contend with the mirror if K-Razor does try to peek that. Nothing to do with that mirror. Hibana's been banned. No Twitch. How can we take this mirror out? The only way would be go downstairs and shoot it through the floor, which is not looking to be possible in this scenario. 1 minute remaining. Yeah,
I don't think it's really going to happen either. And this clock, as you said, is slowly ticking down. And that's going to be an angle and a half. Afro finds the head of Ysera there. That's going to roll. Luna now sitting behind this mirror. We'll have to see what he can achieve.
Oh.
Mentalist finds the kill on a K-Razor. That was a beautiful shot from downtown. The asphyxiation bolt comes in, lands just forward. Afro finds himself a second. He removes the head of Hysterics now. But Afro's taking a ton of damage. Odin Miso, though, going to find one for himself as he drops Luna off the board. And then Odin Miso finds himself a second. Mentalist gets a C4 kill, though. He stops the plant, but now he's taking a ton of damage. He's going to have to reload the Vector in a 1 versus 3. He's going to need a small miracle, but with 15 seconds left, his thing comes now. He just has to stop the plant. It doesn't matter how many kills get, as long as he stops the plant.
They know exactly where he is.
And that's a pistol kill. Odin Miso with a nice 3K. Going to take their first win of the half.
Impressive stuff from Odin Miso here. You see he tried to whip out the shotgun for the close range fight, but wasn't going to happen on the reload. Pistol will do the job just fine. A nice hold from Aerowolf, but just didn't cut it. Fav Gaming had a nice attack through and through, and they even managed to deal with those mirror positions. Even when they lost players on their entry into the bomb site to try and plant, such as when Mentalist got that nice long angle from inside of long desk, Fav always had another way around it, and sometimes that way around it was simply, all right, Odin Miso, just go in and jump in. You know, do your thing.
Do your thing indeed. So we're going back to CEO. We've got the castle. We're going to see a 6 pick from Ash to Sledge, and we're going to see a 6 pick from Smoke to Pulse. Not bringing the ACOG of that dock this time. That was their 6th pick from last time, coincidentally, off Smoke as well. So I'll have to see whether or not this change.
What I find super interesting is the way that we saw this on Oregon as well. It's not like these teams are specifically, you know, good at attacking this bomb site or good at defending this bomb site. I mean, yes, that is the case, but I guess reading into it a bit, these teams just become so familiar and have developed such a strong understanding of the bomb site itself that it helps them for attacking and defending it. Fav Gaming have really good defenses on CEO. Aerowolf just can't attack it, and they haven't defended it well either. Fav Gaming haven't had much luck downstairs, and they haven't really figured out a strong way to get their roamers to deal damage, whereas Aerowolf did that perfectly.
Yeah, and it definitely seems to be a thorn in Aerowolf's side. If they only have the one bomb site that they can successfully defend in the basement, they're going to lose this half hard.
Yeah, and they seem confident that they can do what's needed on CEO, and they're not going to go down to Tellers just yet anyhow. Oh, this could be the pick that's needed. Odin Miso, the man that stepped up in the last round, he's off the table. Hysterics, an unusual peak, but one that pays off.
Yeah, and you can see that Typon now having to cover out that while they bring across a second player. I believe it was Shin. Yep, there it is. And they are going to start sledging open these castle barricades. A couple of shots come out. Nothing going to come of it, though. Just trying to scare each other off the windows.
Shin still has these grenades, so it's not all is lost with Buck. Wouldn't mind seeing the castle barricade be destroyed by these grenades, actually. It's not what's happening so far, just tossing them willy-nilly over towards the bomb.
Yeah, it almost seems reckless with that. It's almost more a Hail Mary grenade that he's trying to throw there.
That said, we've got the thermite wall open, so not too worried about these impact grenade tricks so far.
Afro in a very solid position, as long as he doesn't get flanked from his own hallway.
Afro getting very aggressive inside of the janitor's closet. This is a power play position for him. He has so many angles he can deal with. He's just got to make sure he does not expose to any of them because there are Aerowolf players planted all over the bomb site. And Aerowolf C4 doesn't manage to land, but Array is right beneath. He could blow this hatch, and he does just that. Afro goes down.
His body goes down with him.
True that, but, well, the bomb plant
going for the plant.
seems to be happening. Can the C4 deny it?
Yes,
it does!
It can.
So much C4 working out for Aerowolf at the moment. And Hysterics takes down Shin. It's just Typon remaining. Oh, I feel like that's the case every single time. And it's not going to happen. Almost a knife, but Hysterics just jumps out for it.
And that was what was needed to get the job done.
It was, indeed.
C4.
I definitely agree. C4. And I really quite like the idea of Array playing below. It's funny, he wasn't actually necessarily in a good position to deny where the plant was with his C4, but he denied the most threatening player at that time.
Yeah.
Finally, we're seeing some improvement round upon round from Aerowolf, and it's working out well. It looks like FAV...
That'll be 6 picked off.
The Capcan, yeah, there you go, onto a castle. And it looks
Wasted
like
no
FAV
time.
are also keen to make some changes. Shin bringing out the IQ. I really like this. Shin, clearly the IGL. He's the strat man. He likes to make these calls. And he's also very comfortable jumping around on operators.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, at this level of play, everyone should be comfortable on every operator, right? But
tell that to Joystick from Team Empire, who plays Ash consistently every single round of every single game.
Right, like you might have an operator you're more comfortable on than others, but realistically, you should be able to play every single operator, right? The basic mechanics of every operator, land a headshot, remains the same, right? Like there are differences, there are subtleties, and you know, gun recoil and things like that. But realistically, you should be able to play. You should be familiar enough with every single operator at this point.
So now that we have one round up for Aerowolf, what are you feeling for the next move? What is the next move for them? And, I mean, like, defending this downstairs basement seems like a given. So I feel like we might be heading into a 6-4 next up. If they want to prevent that from happening, what have they got to do? They brought out the IQ. Is that really going to make a difference?
I don't think it's going to make a great deal of difference. Yeah, they will eventually find all the Valk cams, but I don't think the Valk cams had that much of an impact on their last defense of CCTV. So I really think, you know, the Pulse is the bigger one. What they need to do is they need to be able to quickly condense down this map. So considering
Jackal.
that Jackal could do it. So considering they have, you know, they don't really have a lot of roamers, and what roamers they do have are poised to escape, if not already have escaped already. Yeah, they have, down on basement. So, you know, their roamers have zero pressure. Quite literally, all they need to do is take control of the map, start opening up their hatch. They need to start working on their plant. The sooner they start working on that plant, I feel they'll have more and more success.
A lot of C4 still in the hands of Aerowolf. And of course, those gas babes can deny that plant, so you have to get onto it fairly quickly.
Yep, so they got 2 C4s, the smokes, and
impact grenades if you want to go crazy.
Nah, I'm pretty sure they would have used them at this point.
It's likely. So, it's working away at these castle barricades. It may waste a little bit of time. Not sure how impactful that'll be, but the next few seconds, I'd like to see Favs deciding where they want to plant and getting that going. It looks like it might actually be a vault push once again. Didn't work out for a while.
And they got demolished coming down this hatch last time. Like, they got demolished dropping down that hatch.
It's a very atypical push, and it's atypical because it's not often successful.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, you need to have very certain steps in place to be able to push down that, hatch. But it's good if you can sneak like one person down there or something. But you know, you can't really sneak a whole team down that hatch.
Not if you don't have any crossfires as well. I really feel like, you know, being able to have a multifaceted push is essential when you're dropping into a crossfire like that. But 4 players ready to go through there. Shin pushing in solo through the garage. I do like this. Now, Luna Metal, the lone man inside a garage, I think he's distracted potentially. Odin Miso wants to try and condense him. Oh, but Shin finds Luna, and Shin could potentially find another inside of lockers. Odin Miso starts to make his push on inside.
Yeah, they're coming out here. It's all starting to fall in place. The timings you can see here. Mentalist, though, putting an end to K-Razor. Here comes Odin Miso, pulls out the skeleton key, takes out Mentalist. Hysterics, though, does find Afro. Ysera takes out Odin Miso, and now this is starting to collapse. Shin does find one. The plant is going down. They have to stop this plant. They do manage to successfully stop it, but Shin is going to take out another one. Just one person left. Shin gets himself a, was that a 3K, 4K? Either way, Shin is going to win it for his team.
Yeah, 4K for Shin. Great stuff. Very impressive. I'm really impressed with that hold. I mean, that take rather. We talked about how vault pushes don't typically work. They're not very common, but the way that they did it was fantastic. Push one person through Garage and yeah, have that crossfire. Garage disabled the positions in conjunction with Odin Miso on the main stairs, disabled those key positions. Then Odin Miso could start pushing forward. He got himself inside of lockers and started clearing out the main players. The player in gold vault was taken out by Shin, who peeked in through red hallway. Really just putting the pieces together one by one and allowing the FAV planting and the support team to drop down the hatch and get themselves into the bomb site to start planting. I also, as for the IQ pick, why was it IQ? 3 speed is very useful when you're making a solo push like that, but on top of that, a nice gun and the utility of being able to ensure that there are no Valkyrie cameras directly looking at you.
Yep.
When you're making a solo push that requires you to be a not known quantity.
Holy damn Hysterics. 14 frags.
Definitely been stepping up in this best of 3 and on this map as well.
Yeah, he really has. And Mentalist had 9 for himself as well, so he's definitely doing well. But we're seeing a much more even frag count across the FAV gaming lineup than what we are Aerowolf. Aerowolf just seemed to be enabling Hysterics.
10 seconds to insertion.
I mean, we've had a lot of good plays from Hysterics on the attacking side especially, but as for the defense, he has had, I mean, there have been some situations where he's gotten unnecessary kills, finishing off a last player in a 5 versus 1, but he's also had some very strong impact frags. Now, defending this basement once again, Aerowolf lost out to that unexpected vault push from FAV Gaming. Looks like FAV may well be going for the exact same thing with the same lineup.
Yeah, Array just going to move one of his castles, I think. No, he's just going to collect it and run off with it.
Save it for later.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if he potentially can get it off, a castle late game can be devastating.
As long as you have a safe position to deploy it, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Now, looks like map control's going fairly well in favor of FAV Gaming. Aerowolf retreating back to site once more, but the issue would be if FAV does attempt this vault push once again, and Aerowolf aren't prepared for it, and their key players start getting taken down. There's the final castle barricade. I like that. It's at the bottom of the main stairs to protect the player in Garage from being pushed from that side, so they only have to worry about the Garage player.
Yep. As that is what cost him his life last time. Typon going to be opening up this castle barricade. It's a little bit quicker than what it was last round, of course. They did do this around the minute 30 mark, where this time they get it done at minute 40.
Looks like it might actually be a server push for once. FAV Gaming deciding, all right, look, we made it work last time on our vault push, but let's not do it this time. They're going to read into it. Let's mix it up. But Ysera's going to be clued into this, as you can see, scanning out.
Pulse in that gold vault has all the information they need. Why haven't they popped that thermite yet?
Waiting for some reason.
Texan Dynamite on hold. Shin going to be holding the angle. Here comes Odin Miso. Is that what they were waiting for?
Now a lot of angles being opened up by Odin Miso, completely destroying that wall, giving a lot of flexibility to Aerowolf and some long angles from behind the server as well to challenge the position inside of the red hallway.
Yep, and of course with Echo banned, here now comes some smallish plant denial.
We're running way low on time though. Look at that, 44 seconds to go, and we still have all of the gas babes and the C4. These smokes are hoping that the intel is not going to be there. K-Razor goes for an unusual plant spot, but the C4 can deny that. Lunar Metal knows what's up. K-Razor goes down, but Odin Miso starts the work for his team. Hysterics with the reply. Odin Miso continuing from his rampage on the main stairs. Shin knows he needs to go for this. And Odin Miso once again, finally Array puts him down. It's just 2 players left for either team. Typon covering his team out on the flank, shoots out the C4 as well. Plant goes down, Shin finds one, all up to the last player. Ysera gets the refrag. Just Ysera versus Typon. Who's going to break away onto match point? Ysera finds out the position of the last remaining player of FAV Gaming. Needs to bait out this defuse, but there are so many angles that he can use. Typon can use to peek onto Ysera.
They definitely have a drone on it. They have intel on it, I think. And, oh, he's going to know where he is. He needs to get aggressive. He's heard him come down, but...
No! Wow!
What?
Oh my god, a trade? Are you kidding me? And because the diffuser was down, then it was an attacker win as well. My goodness, that's LAN for you, my friends. That's just the fact that we're on LAN and that happens tells you that these guys were so evenly matched in that gunfight. There is almost no latency in this local network.
Yeah, there is no latency on LAN. It is so different to play on. You hear the players talk about it all the time, that this game was built to be played on LAN, right? Like, this game was built to be played on LAN. It is the true Siege experience if you haven't already. But we're going back up to CEO now. They've lost CCTV twice. They don't want to tempt fate by going it for a third time. And with FAV on match point and series point now, this is getting serious.
I think that Aerowolf certainly want to take us to that maximum overtime. It's getting very, very close. And any little small mistake here can cost your team, can make your team go home.
So, is Aerowolf going to be able to go into the grand final, or will FAV Gaming take the whole weekend?
That's what you're asking here, because typically Aerowolf, when they lose, it's only ever to the best of the best.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
That's right. No, I promise
the wise words of Monkey Fist.
There is a word that has been used to describe Aerowolf in the past that I promised them I wouldn't use this weekend. So I'm going to skip to I'm going to
gatekeepers. I will use it for you.
These guys are looking to be the gate crashers this weekend.
They got their battering ram. They're trying to go through.
And they're running it right up. And this is the point where everything comes down to. They cannot let FAV steal away with this one. It has to be an overtime for Aerowolf. This CEO bomb site they struggle with, but they've also made it work on the back of some incredibly aggressive plays from Asterix. Surely we need to say the same thing again. The man is on fire, and this is the time when his team needs him most.
Certainly it is. He needs to step up. And you know, Odin, Miso, and Afro as well, they have been doing phenomenal work. Typon has found himself in some very difficult situations that he has done amazing in as well. So, you know, all of these FAV Gaming players have done tremendous work so far, where Aerowolf has really just been on Hysterix and I believe it was Array. It was the second top frag. Oh, Mentalist, sorry. It was Hysterix and Mentalist who have done very, very well for themselves.
Perhaps this is going to be a FAV Gaming west side push. Lots of drones set up. Perhaps that's just to protect the players on the north windows, so you can have someone call it out. Odin Miso playing passively with the skeleton key, which he's used very effectively in recent rounds.
He's found a lot of kills with that skeleton key. So flashbangs coming in from Typon, just trying to burn the ADSs, and burn them he does.
Perhaps we'll see the grenades from Buck being utilized to flush out these players. I'd like to see it used to destroy this castle barricade, expose that mirror position. That's what's going to happen. There you have it. See if Odin Miso can do his job and try and counter that position on the mirror. Even could grenade it if he so wishes. You can see Luna Metal playing very safely now. Array, once again on this roam with the pulse, worked very well for him in the past, as long as it doesn't get picked up.
Here comes Array. Let's see whether or not he can be effective getting this flank from basement. Coming up the service stairs. There is a lot of people around. K-Raze has made his way in. He's planting in the smoke right now. Whether or not they're going to be able to get it, Afro stops Hysterix's flank. But here comes Array. The C4 misses.
Oh, no.
There's one on the roof. There's one on his left. Shin picks up one. Odin Miso picks up one for himself as well. 2 versus 5. FAV Gaming on the precipice of taking out Aerowolf right now.
2 versus 5, a mountain to climb for Aerowolf. Mentalist, this is the time to prove yourself on the mirror. He has no versatility, nothing to do. How can you possibly take out these positions? There's someone on the roof, no less. Can he contest, win this angle? No, Afro takes it. It's all up to Array, the last man standing.
Running out of time, though. He's got a small amount of time, and look at this. They're throwing bodies at him, but Odin Miso is making sure that Aerowolf go home and FAV go forward to the grand final.
What a great series. And once again, Aerowolf gets so close, but close is just not enough for them. FAV Gaming steal it away and turn up, really, for the first time since the very first APAC LAN.
15 frags for Hysterics. 15.
And I'm so impressed by Odin